my next question is, did you always see yourself pursuing technology and developing something like Lucinetic? And if not, what was the story behind creating it?
The short answer is definitely not. I thought that I would be a paramedic, and then I was in the nursing program, and then I thought, I really want to give back. I always knew I wanted to give back. So I guess that's the longer part of it, is that I felt a social responsibility always. And so when I got my EMT license, I ended up going in an ambulance and for my actual work. And I only did it one time because I quit immediately after. I realized that it was not for me. And in some ways, I'm just so, in every way, actually, I am so happy that I had that experience because, like I had mentioned, I think it takes some time to figure out what you want to do. And my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, he really supported me in that kind of 99, research is 99% failure. And it's not really failure, it's learning, right? And so it's always worth that, 1% of getting to where you're going. So that definitely was kind of my path, is to go down towards more of the medical route. And I ended up really falling in love with biology when I was in UC Santa Cruz. And so that is how I ended up going into molecular biology research.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And do you think that at Lucinetic, you used any of that research from biology and from molecular biology to sort of inform your choices with Lucinetic, or do you think that the two are pretty unrelated to each other?
So they're definitely very related because research and business are the same. It doesn't really matter if you're in the lab or if you're trying things out in your company. We're doing so much experimentation all the time. It is pretty much research. And I think that it's really important to learn how to fail because a lot of people really feel like it's a reflection on them when they fail. And I did too when I was growing up. And it's really important to keep doing it, to realize that it's not a reflection on you and that most success comes after that process and that it's an essential process. And so that is definitely a way in which my biology background helped me, and my lab background helped me in business. But also there was kind of a transition period for me from the lab where I worked for GNS Healthcare, which was a predictive analytics company that used AI in biology. So it was a really wonderful way to transition into business.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's good to have something that I guess connects your two worlds, something specific that you can, then look back on or use in the future to continue to bridge the gap between two specific things. I think that's important. And my next question is, did you have a experience or a moment when you first realized that you wanted to devote the rest of your life to STEM in some form? And I don't know if that would be realizing you wanted to devote the rest of your life to Lucinetic or to biology when you were younger, but if you do have one of those moments, how did that realization make you feel and what was it?
Yeah, it's a great question. I always felt that I was going to do some kind of entrepreneurial activity. I felt so much creativity within me, and I felt that I really wanted to have that control over a project. And research allowed me to do that actually in the early stages. And I think that's another bridge into business, is when you're doing research, you are in charge of your project and you learn to manage your time. You learn to figure out how to do experiments in parallel. And it is definitely a wonderful way to learn about life and how to just manage your time. But my thrill kind of discovery came during my first project, and that was really the time that I realized it's just such an incredible feeling, an incredible joy and a treasure to be able to feel this moment when you've seen something that nobody in the world has seen before. And whether that means you're looking at some slides of your work or you're looking at a research, result, that moment when you realize you've discovered something and no one knows about it, it's not replicable. So that is something that really fills me with joy, and I get to experience that all the time in the business. Actually, it's this moment of we're onto something, and we're going to make a positive impact in the world.
I mean, I don't have an experience specifically like that with research or with business, but when I go on paleontology digs, because I really like paleontology, I have a similar feeling where, I pick something up, I find something in the water, I pick it up, and I know that I'm the first person who's ever seen this. And it might just be a shark's tooth that, thousands of other people have found similar ones too, but no one has ever found this specific one. And so like knowing that and seeing the coloration or how the gum, meets the rest of the tooth and how the enamel looks and things like that is just so cool, because that, no one else has seen that. No one else has ever seen the exact same thing that you're looking at. I think that that's a really, like you said, something that really fills me with joy. And I think it's a really rare thing that people can find. So, in whatever job you do or whatever you're passionate about, having that novelty of being the first, I think is really, really important.